Today we are going to look at the top 10 most expensive cars in the world. Now this is a complicated topic to discuss, so let's lay down the criteria. The list is based on the manufacturer's selling price for these cars. The model should have at least 10 production units. So we won't include any one-off cars, or else the whole list would be Rolls-Royces and Bugattis. Only street-legal production cars are eligible for the list, and we will be looking at the most expensive car from each car manufacturer. And finally, we have 2 bonus cars at the end of the list, so make sure to stick around for the big reveal. Now that we have that out of the way, buckle up and let's go. Number 10. The McLaren Speedtail. When McLaren came out with their first ever road car, the McLaren F1 in 1993, it was an instant hit and it held the title of the fastest car in the world for over a decade at a speed of 240.1 miles per hour. Dubbed as the Holy Grail, it's no wonder the F1 is valued at over $20 million today. So when McLaren wanted to produce a car that shares the iconic 3-seater layout of the F1, they made sure to make it special. With a combined power output of 1,026 horsepower from its hybrid powertrain and an aerodynamic design, the Speedtail justifies the presence of the word speed in its name when it manages a top speed of 250.4 miles per hour. And with only 106 units produced, it's easy to justify a price tag of $2 million. Number 9. The Hennessy Venom F5. When you hear the name Hennessy, you immediately think of those crazy 6x6 Velociraptors or 1,000 plus horsepower monstrous TRX, and many other insane cars tuned by Hennessy. But what most people don't know is that they have their own production car. And not just any car. This 1,817 horsepower beast is the most powerful non-electric production car in the world, and with great power comes great speed. The F5 has a claimed top speed of over 300 miles per hour. Although Hennessy have only gotten the F5 to 271.6 miles per hour, buyers were more than happy to fork out $2.1 million to get their hands on one of the 26 units that will be built. Number 8. The Pininfarina Battista. The Italian design firm Pininfarina is almost 100 years old, and over the decades have designed some truly beautiful cars, including the Ferrari Enzo, the Ferrari F40, and probably one of the most beautiful cars in the world, the $50 million Ferrari 250 GTO. So when Pininfarina finally decided to produce their own car, it had to embody the elegance of timeless Italian design. And fun fact, the Battista is the first electric car designed by Pininfarina, and also the most powerful with 1,877 horsepower. And with a limited run of 150 units, the Battista is a car collector's dream for $2.2 million. Number 7. The Ferrari Daytona SP3. Built as a tribute to the legendary 1960s Ferrari race cars, the SP3 is inspired by the 1967 24 Hours of Daytona champion, the Ferrari 330p3, which along with the 330p4 and 412p took the top 3 spots and shot past the checkered flag perfectly next to each other in an unforgettable moment. So the Daytona SP3 has some huge wheels to fill, and its 829 horsepower V12 is the most powerful naturally aspirated engine ever fit in a road car. Only 599 units will be made, and with such a rich history, the price of $2.23 million is certainly worth it. Number 6. The Rimac Nevera. Compared to the previous cars on this list, the Rimac name is rather new. But what the Nevera lacks in history, it more than makes up for in performance. This all-electric beast is the most powerful production car in the world, with 1,914 horsepower from its 4 electric motors, and with such a monstrous power figure, it's easy to see why it's also the fastest accelerating production car in the world with a time of 1.74 seconds from 0 to 60 miles per hour. With crazy numbers like this, it's no wonder that Bugatti decided to merge with this Croatian powerhouse. The 150 lucky owners of the Nevera will be able to experience a world record 170 miles per hour in reverse. Or they can just go forward like a normal person and reach an impressive speed of 256 miles per hour. Either way, the Nevera totally makes sense at $2.4 million. Honorable mention. The Mercedes-AMG One. For over 70 years, Mercedes have pushed the boundaries of engineering in Formula One, and over the years managed to get 125 wins. So when the German giant announced that they will put the engine from F1 in a road car, people were understandably excited. And the 1,063 horsepower engine screams to 11,000 revolutions per minute and blurs the lines between racetrack and road. Only 275 people will be lucky enough to experience this engineering marvel, but they won't be able to drive it on US roads, since sadly this F1 road car is not US street legal, but still makes for an amazing experience on the track for $2.7 million. Number 5. The GMA-T50. One of the greatest designers in racing history, Gordon Murray designed championship-winning Formula One cars for Brabham and McLaren. His 1988 McLaren MP4 is considered one of the most successful F1 cars ever built, winning 15 out of 16 races in a single season. He also was the chief designer of the iconic McLaren F1 hypercar. So when he had his eyes set on producing his own hypercar, in his mind it had to capture the spirit of the McLaren F1, and he put his extensive knowledge and love of fan cars to create the T50. And like the legendary McLaren, the beating heart of this T50 is a naturally aspirated V12 that revs to a record 12,100 RPM. With only 100 units set to be produced, it's no wonder this fan car costs $2.8 million. Number 4. The Pagani Utopia. Now Pagani don't just design cars, they sculpture pieces of art inspired by science and beauty. Their artworks just happen to be track-focused marvels of engineering. Horacio Pagani's vision is to create cars that are both beautiful and technologically advanced, and he uses his knowledge of engineering and design to create cars that are both aesthetically pleasing and high-performing. So when a successor to the amazing Zonda and Huayra was made, it was sure to be something out of this world. And the Utopia lives up to the Pagani essence with its beautiful exterior and interior, which features a manual, by the way, mated to an 864 horsepower V12. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so with a price tag of $3 million and a production run of 99 units, this car caters to a discerning few who appreciate true craftsmanship and exclusivity. Number 3. The Lamborghini Sian. Few people in the world have the privilege of experiencing the joy of driving a Lamborghini. From manufacturing tractors to building some of the most loved cars in the world like the Miura, Countach, Murcielago and more, in between Lamborghini makes some limited-run hero cars that bridge the way between generations. One of these amazing cars is the Sian FKP37. When it was introduced in 2019, the Sian was the first ever Lamborghini to feature a hybrid system and paved the way for future models like the Rivuelto and Lanzador. The Sian is definitely a great stepstone in the history of Lamborghini and deserves the $3.6 million price tag to get your hands on one of 63 units. Number 2. The Koenigsegg CC850. This magnificent hypercar pays homage to the amazing heritage of Koenigsegg, and it celebrates the 20th anniversary of the CC8S, a car which was a defining moment for the brand and was launched as a celebration of Christian van Koenigsegg's 50th birthday. Not only does it share a name with the legendary CC8S, but it also shares a manual gearbox. It's the most powerful car in the world with a manual transmission at 1,385 horsepower, and with a weight of 1,385 kilograms, it manages a perfect 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio. But even if you have $3.65 million laying around, you won't be able to get your hands on this hypercar as all 70 units are already sold out. Number 1. The Bugatti Centodieci. If you translate the word Centodieci, it means 110 in Italian. And this number has great significance. Not only does it pay homage to the famous Bugatti EB110, but it also celebrates the 110th anniversary of the Bugatti brand. Its stunning appearance is a tribute to the EB110 and features the same wedge-shaped design with sharp lines, prominent air intakes, and a fixed rear wing. Although it's based on the already perfected Bugatti Chiron, the Centodieci is lighter, more luxurious, and technologically superior. This collector's dream is a symbol of exclusivity, and that's why only 10 units were ever produced for the lucky few who were eager to pay $10 million for the chance to own one. Bonus cars. Okay, at the beginning I mentioned that I won't include any one-off cars in this list. But just to give you a perspective, if you think the Centodieci was expensive at $10 million, then you will be shocked when you hear about the Rolls-Royce La Rose Noir Droptail. Commissioned by a prominent family, this Rolls-Royce draws inspiration from the black Baccara rose, beloved by the family's matriarch, reflected in the car's dark pomegranate hue and subtle red accents. This one-of-one piece of art is the definition of opulence and money no object happiness. And since it was part of Rolls-Royce's exclusive coach-building program, the official price wasn't disclosed, but estimates put it at a mind-blowing $30 million. This is the most expensive new car ever sold by a car manufacturer. But if you look at classic cars sold between collectors, this number is simply dwarfed. So what is the most expensive car ever sold, you might ask? It's the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. Designed in 1955, only 2 units were ever built, serving as test cars for the legendary W196 racing car. Named after Rudolf Uhlenhaut, Mercedes-Benz's chief engineer and racing manager, these cars never competed in official races. With only one remaining in existence as the other was destroyed in a crash, the 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe is the ultimate collector's car, its rarity contributing significantly to its astronomical price. In 2022, it sold in a private auction for, wait for it, $142.77 million. Just for perspective, for the same price you could buy all the cars previously mentioned on this list and still have over $70 million. This car is truly on another level. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you soon.